No, I need to.
Good thing I brought a jacket this time.
It is
cold in here.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, that'd be fabulous. Yeah.
The ladies in this building have a temperature problem.
It's
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
First thing is approval of June 13, 2022 minutes, approval of June 14, 2022 special meeting minutes, approval payment to J&B contractors for the street replacement of First and Iowa Street at $18,404.90. Approval payment to First Due Emergency Response Solution for fire department turnout gear in the amount of $10,392.56. Approval payment to Kansas State Treasurer for general obligation refund bond series 2012 number 03150315122288 bonds. The interest payment amount of $60,512.50. Approval payment for Kansas State Treasurer USDA General Obligation Bond Series 2021 03150728211314 bond, and interest payment of amount of $277,200. Approval utility account refunds an amount of $480.95. Is there a motion we approve consent agenda?
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda as written.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Motion been made and seconded. Any other comments? No other comments, we'll vote.
all in favor.
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed.
Motion carried. Regular agenda, none, public comment, petition, memorial. Leah McPeak.
Hi there. I came to talk about the Teammates Mentoring Program in Hiawatha. And I think a lot of us worry about kids and we worry about school safety. Recently, I watched a county commission meeting and they were talking about getting resource officers in all the buildings. And I was thinking a lot about it, and something that is already in place that we're doing, not in place of student resource officers, but in addition to, is building relationships through this Teammates Mentoring Program. Sometimes we need to think, what can I personally do here in our town? I would like to encourage anyone who feels helpless or who wants to make a difference in the life of a child. Do you have 30 minutes every week that you could spend time with a child? If so, you should consider becoming a Teammates mentor. We especially need male mentors, as there are current HMS male students waiting. They always match up boy students with male adults. You have to be 18 or older to be a mentor. And Hiawatha Middle School began this program in January. Adults who they have to apply online, go through a background checks, and then you do a training with Kim Crowder, the middle school counselor. Then you're paired with a middle school student who also applied, and they receive parent permission to be in the program. Each week you meet with your student doing fun activities. It's a low-key time to talk, play games, etc. You arrive every week to meet and make a connection with your student. Something special about the program is that all students are able to participate. Some children who are in the program might have struggles at home, but some might not. My daughter is in the program and she really enjoys it. The truth is that all kids deserve someone to show up for them. We meet during the school day. Do you want to show up for a child? Do you know someone who would be good at this? Tell them. Tell me. a mentor. I don't have an official capacity in the program, but Kim Crowder, she's in charge of the program for Hiawatha, and she's a middle school counselor. And she can assist with any questions you might have, or just visit the teammates website. There's a lot of great information on there. And I passed out flyers, and if you're not interested, maybe pass it on to someone else or hang it somewhere you think interested people might see it. Sometimes it takes a few times for someone to hear about something before they decide to apply. So go ahead and tell people about it. Thank you for considering making a difference through the most precious gift you can give, the gift of your time. You matter, and all these kids matter too. So if you guys have any questions, I'd be glad to answer it. I know Becky Schamberg is also a mentor.
I'm both a mentor. I'm also on the board with the mentees program. And I will tell you something really great about it is there's no obligation after school. I mean, you aren't allowed to meet with these kids after school. It's not like Big Brothers Big Sisters. It's very structured. So you go in at, you can maybe go in and eat lunch with them. You're not supposed to be spending money and bringing them gifts and all this stuff. It's just truly a one-on-one connection. The kids look forward to it. It gives adults a chance to meet with some kids they may not otherwise interact with. Like I said, the biggest thing is that it is a time commitment in that once a week, and that they want us to stick with these kids until they graduate. And I believe if the kids stick through the whole time, because this originated in Nebraska with Tom Osborne, if they stick in the program the whole time, I believe there's scholarship money available. I mean, at least there used to be. I don't know where we're at with that. So I'm glad you brought it up, Leah.
Yeah.
I hadn't even thought about doing that
Yeah.
here, but it's worthwhile
Yeah.
being a part of.
And it's about relationships. That's how we connect with people and kids, especially.
What grade do you start with?
Right now it starts at 5th grade. My student, she'll be an 8th grader. But then I talked to Kim about coming here. I also went to the county commission to share. And she said that they're going to have another kickoff assembly at the beginning of the school year. So they'll need a lot of mentors for the new 5th graders who might want to join, or any kids who weren't in the program yet. Yeah, I think it's really special because all kids can be involved. There's no stigma attached to the program. So,
And we kept it at the middle school for now, just because last year, actually this started way before COVID, but then COVID. We kept it at the middle school level for now, just because we're feeling our way, figuring out how all the ins and outs of it. But my mentee is moving on to freshman year, and I'll move right along with her. So, but for now it's 5 through 8.
So is this at a fixed time every week, or does it vary? Or
well, it can be up to you. Like my student and I, we usually meet at the same time every week. I talked to Lonnie Mosier. He was also a mentor. He was all over the place. So
Shocker.
yeah, his time varied. So it's okay if something comes up, but for my situation, we kept it the same. But
and if you're not able to be there that week,
Yep.
is that a problem? Or
no, in general, they want you there every week. But like if you're out of town,
Yeah, life happens.
Yeah.
I always just let my mentee know that, hey, I'm not gonna be here next week, because so they know there's a reason, but yeah, it's okay. And if you wanted to reschedule for a different time, you could, but it's very much under your control.
awesome. Thank you guys.
Thank you, Leah. Next thing on the agenda is old business is none, new business. Consider approval of KDHE consent order regarding the wastewater treatment facility and authorize the mayor to sign. Do we have somebody here with KDHE?
No, Mr. Mayor. No.
Oh, okay. All right. I guess, has anybody got any questions? If there isn't any question, I'd entertain a motion to approve the KDHE's consent order regarding the wastewater treatment facility.
I'll make that motion to approve the KDHE consent order regarding the wastewater treatment facility and authorizing the mayor to sign.
For a second,
second?
motion been made and second. Any other comments? No other comments, we'll vote.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Next thing, consider approval of plan to city administrator's position. Larry.
Mr. Mayor, Commissioners, we know that we had a little difficulty with the first round, and I put together a plan that would be a little bit different. I communicated with the league, and we have an agreement to go forward with a process where they would advertise, collect resumes, and then send them to me. And that fee is for $1,750. Quite a bit less than the first round. After they collect, I have a group of professional city and county city managers, city administrators who will review the resumes from having been sitting in the administrator or manager's seat. So the people that I have are fairly qualified. The Kansas Association of City County Management puts together a special award for a city manager named after former Lawrence manager Buford Watson. Two of the group have received that award. So it's a prestigious thing. The other one's a commission consultant has been involved with recruiting, and well, the other two are involved in recruiting. So for that period of time, we will take, review, present a list of candidates that would be ranked by the four different manager administrators, and then we'll start that review process with you folks again, like we did a couple of weeks ago, where you select the folks that you want to interview, and then hopefully we can get it concluded.
Okay. I guess I think action, the motion to approve contract with the League of Kansas Municipalities for advertising, submit resume to the city of Iowa and authorize use of groups for professional people management administrators and review candidates, resume and submit a short list to the commissioner for $1,750. Is that what you need, Larry?
The $1,750 would be for the league, and approximately $600 for the manager administrators reviewing. We've done this before. It runs about $8 to $10 a resume reviewed.
Yeah. Okay. All right, is there a motion?
So do we want to have that specific amount for the review? Because what if we got 20 resumes in? I mean, I know that's probably fair.
I would be happy for 20, but I know from experience that if you get 20, some of the 20 are not going to be qualified to even go forward. So,
Well, I think we had quite a few the last time, and
yes,
we got down just a short list, so I guess I don't think that ought to be a sticking point. The more qualified people we got, the better it is, I guess.
Yeah. The other part of this process is that once I kind of move the budget off my desk, I'll be doing some direct recruiting with my colleagues here in Kansas as well.
I'll make that motion.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Motion been made and seconded. Any other comments? You got anything, Brian?
Nope, all sounds good.
Vote.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
Motion carried. Next thing, consider approval of statement and condition for USDA funding.
Mr. Mayor, Austin Masters is here, so come on up.
Go ahead.
They have copies of it.
They do.
Oh,
Yeah.
great. Well, I printed off some extras, so if anybody wants a copy, I can go through this here. pretty big. So I apologize for that. I'm not gonna read through word for word. But I'm Austin Masters. I'm with USDA Rural Development. I'm a loan specialist out of Topeka. I've actually worked with you guys on a couple of projects in the past, including your streets project. I'm here to talk about your sewer project. We're considered at phase 3 because it's the third one through us. At the top of the letter of conditions, we have the breakdown of the financing we have on this project. The proposed loan amount is $1,640,000. Proposed grant amount from us is $995,000. We're proposing that you guys contribute $345,000 to the project with the existing community development block grant of $600,000 for the total project. We kind of rushed this one on the last minute because interest rates are going up July 1st. And so I'm going to go through this and kind of hit the high points. At any time, stop me if you have questions. So in the second paragraph here, it has a breakdown of rural development loan and grant with what I just said there. And it references form RD 1940-1 request for obligation of funds. Does the mayor have that form to sign potentially tonight? I printed off a copy as well.
We'll need that then.
Okay.
You
And
didn't send it to me, so at least I didn't print it.
that's all right. That's one of two forms that I'd like to get signed tonight, so we get these funds obligated. And basically that has the terms of the loan, and we can basically get the funds in your guys' name. Go to the next page. And that second paragraph there, it talks about that form, but it also talks about the letter of intent to meet conditions, form RD 1942-46. That's the second form that I'll need to sign tonight. And that's basically you guys saying that you do agree to these conditions. Now, the nice thing about our funding is, even if we do request the funds, get them obligated in your name, you're not actually obligated to do anything with them. If you did change your mind in the future, we could de-obligate the funds. They'd never be on your guys' ledger, and you could be done with it. But it's nice to get it locked in at the interest rate we're at now. And that is 1.5% over 40 years. Let's go to section 1.1. That's the project description. We go down to section 2. That's the proposed funding for the project. And then on the next page, on page 3, it's the project budget. That's the whole breakdown there. You guys have any questions about that? At this point, we're including the alternatives. But as you guys know, construction costs have been increasing, so that is a risk we have out there. Good. Item 4, that is a timeline proposed and your engineering report. And with the CDBG grant, to get that, you need to be somewhere close to this timeline. They're a little more aggressive on what they need compared to us. We have a 3-year timeline. They kind of have 1 year for design, 1 year for construction. Section 2, item 5, that's where your interest rate is listed in the second paragraph, 40 years, 1.5%, and approximate annual payment of just under $55,000. Item 6, security. We have a GO bond. We have the security for this loan, and we've done this, quite a few times. So,
Austin, question.
Yes, sir.
On the annual payment, does that begin when construction starts?
No, sir. So it's 1 year after we close the loan, and we'll close the loan at the back end of construction. We do require interim financing or construction financing during the project.
Okay.
That security section references a loan resolution and a grant agreement, but those are things that we'll get after these funds are obligated in your name, and I'll follow up with kind of next steps at that point. Turn to the next page, reserves. We do require a short-lived asset reserve. This is something that you guys already have going on from your other projects, but it's, you deposit 55,000 in your guys' sewer account each year for replacement, but as things need replaced, you can use that money to replace them. We just want to make sure you have something set aside. I'm going to continue to move through this here fairly quickly, as quickly as I can at least. Hopefully you guys don't fall asleep. It's a big document. Let's go to page 7 where it says American Iron and Steel requirements. That's a requirement we've had for quite a few years now, since 2017. But part of the importance of getting this loan obligated when we did is Buy America, Build America has taken effect. But we did receive a waiver on projects that are funded basically in this week or last week. And so we're expecting Buy America, Build America to increase construction costs considerably. We don't have any exact estimates at this point. So this waiver, where we only use American Iron and Steel instead of Buy America, Build America, I think will save you guys some real money. And your engineers will have experience working with American Iron and Steel, whereas Buy America, Build America is brand new and everybody kind of has to figure it out still. So if you go to the next page, Build America, Buy America is listed there, but it's marked out for that reason.
It says for last week and this week.
Yes,
So it's
basically a 2-week period, and we've been requesting it for a while, kind of in limbo, and we finally got the notification last week that it was something that was coming through.
Okay.
We can kind of keep flipping through here. Like I said, if you have questions, ask me. On page 11, item 17, closing instructions. Basically, we require a lot of the closing documents before we start construction, just so our attorneys can review. We make sure we're on the same page. So that'll be needed prior to moving forward with construction. But that's something I'll be working with you guys on throughout, and your engineers. On page 12, item 20, that's the interim financing we kind of talked about. That's where it lists that the construction financing is required on any projects exceeding $500,000. On page 13, item 24, bid authorization. So once we get those closing instructions, we have the plans and specs, our engineers reviewed and approved them, then we'll authorize you guys going to bid. Most of the rest of this is just kind of compliance stuff that you guys already are doing because of your other projects we've had. I will be the specialist that works with you throughout the project. So I kind of start with you. I go through construction all the way into servicing after the loan is closed. So I'll stay with you there. That being said, I think I've hit all the major high points. And I'm gonna take a minute for questions here as you guys flip through the rest of this.
Austin,
Yes, sir.
does ADHE have to approve any of this portion of it?
At this point, no.
Okay.
No, I mean, they'll review the plans and specs, but that's, right before construction, basically, towards the end of the year. Any other questions?
who would be our resident inspector?
Your engineer should provide that.
Yeah.
I know the city had done that actually provided the resident inspector on the streets project. but that's, I'd say, atypical. It can be done, but not typically done. As you get through that, if you don't have any other questions, I'd request that you'd move to sign those 2 forms. I'll take those back and I'll get the process started tonight.
I guess I need a motion to sign a letter of intent to make conditions, and then you want to do that in 2 different motions or just one?
You can do one.
I sign a letter and meet conditions and a request of obligation of funds. I need a motion and have the mayor sign.
I'll make a motion to approve the letter of conditions for the USDA loan package approval once the loan package is received,
Second.
and authorize the mayor to sign. Did I get it all?
Motion been made and seconded. Is there any other comments? No other comments, we'll vote.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
Motion carried. Thank you.
All right.
I'll get these signed. You want to take them with you?
Yeah, that'd be great.
All right.
Yeah, I can send them to you. And typically the way our process works, once we get those forms back, is it's about 2 weeks before you get your official notification, because we have to go through a congressional notification period, but it'll still be that pre-July 1st date that we'll be able to work with.
All right. Yes, sir.
Thanks for coming out.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it. I've really enjoyed working with the city over the years. We've done a lot of good projects, and honestly, I've probably done more projects with you guys than any other city since I've been the agency, and I think you've really utilized our programs. So
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks.
You need another motion, Larry, or just, that's it?
That's it.
All right. Next thing is consider approval of writing off uncollectible utility debt. Guess we do this every year, so I'd entertain a motion. We sign off on that.
I'll make a motion to approve writing off uncollectible utility debt in the amount of $268.70.
Your second.
I'll second it.
Motion been made and second. Any other comments?
That's less than it's been in a while, hasn't it?
No other comments, we'll vote.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
Motion carried. Next thing, consider approval of purchasing cyber liability coverage in the amount of $4,125. Lynette, you guys have reviewed all this, haven't you?
Yes.
All right.
I'll make a motion to approve purchasing cyber liability coverage in the amount of $4,125.
The second.
I'll second it.
Motion been made and second. Any other comments? No other comments, we'll vote.
All in favor? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
Motion carried. Next thing, report to commission and staff, Larry.
I'm going to give my first little bit to the library director.
Good evening. I'm just here for some of my normal updates, and then to also request that one of our current trustees be reappointed for her first full term. I sent out several pictures of our summer that's been going on. We have had a ton of different types of events. Just for summer programs, we've had over 200 people attend those events. We've had Kansas Parks and Wildlife come out and do our wildlife adventures. The kiddos made some jellyfish lanterns. They created coral reefs, did archaeological digs, had family movie time. They decorated several different types of cookies in a competition, and we're not even halfway done with summer. So we still have 7 weeks left of summer, and it all seems to go very well. And we're really liking our Oceans of Possibilities theme, and it's going very well. We're really happy with how everything's been turning out for us. So that's my most fun update, I suppose. Lesser fun update is that we had to replace one of our windows upstairs because somebody had thrown a rock at it. It was late after we had closed on a Friday, and Saturday morning, our staff realized it had been broken and cracked. So that'll be replaced here in the next few weeks from Jim Hills in Falls City. And then, so that's getting taken care of. It's unfortunate, but it was at least one of the smaller panes, and it wasn't our huge 10-foot windows wasn't affected, just one of the small ones. But anyhow, and then both myself and all of our library staff and trustees, we'd like to thank David Middendorf and Brenda Bolden. These two volunteers came out for 2 days in a row and helped us weed and fix up some of our landscaped areas in the front and on the side of our building. We were aware that they were getting in pretty rough shape, so we put out a call for volunteers, and David came out and worked really hard for us, and so did Brenda for most of the day for a couple of different days. So we just wanted to give a very hearty thank you for coming out and helping us do that. It does look a whole lot better now, so thank you. Those are our general updates. The rest of my updates concern just a few budget updates. Since we get money from the city, we'd like to keep everyone updated on it. Leading up to our June pay date, we looked at our citizens account, and we weren't going to have enough money to cover paying all of our staff. So we did a pretty quick turnaround, getting a disbursement from our savings at Edward Jones from our accounts there. We got that sorted out, and then we did a look ahead for the rest of the year and made a column for when we knew we were going to get income and when we knew we were going to have to pay for things. And so we are anticipating probably needing to do another Edward Jones disbursement before the end of the year. And we weren't expecting it because in the last several years we've gotten different types of grants or different unexpected one-time incomes. So when we look at our financials from a year ago, we don't realize that we're not going to get our normal revenue to cover us until this year, when we realized it didn't stretch us as far as we thought it might. Luckily, we did get the rest of our normal income, what we knew we were going to get in terms of quarterly payment from the city and from our regional system. We were able to get those in as scheduled, and so we should be good up through I think it was the end of November before we will need to get another Edward Jones disbursement. At our last board meeting, we took steps and we're doing planning for looking at several of our contracts and how we could put out bids for certain things, like for our insurance or even our trash service. We're just looking at which way we can save money and not have to keep going through this. And in general, donations for the library have been going down ever since the pandemic began. We don't get quite as large bequests or other types of donations like we used to. And other than that, it's also that our revenue has been, I know we've come in and talked about this, I'll just keep coming back and talking about it since it's budget season anyhow. Our revenue from local taxes has been pretty much at a standstill for about 7 years. We sit about 2 mills below our cap. And with increasing costs of utilities, all of our digital services, we've just kind of been running on borrowed time, and it's all caught up to us, it seems. And we've just been working miracles, pretty much trying to apply for as many grants as humanly possible and going through and only doing bare bones for staff and for programs. And while we love giving more in the last year, since we got to reopen and doing all these fun summer things, it won't be able to last very long without really looking at what we're going to be able to do with our budget and tax revenue and things like that. So I know I talked very quickly. I had a lot of coffee this morning, so I'm happy to answer any questions if any came up.
Yeah, are you looking at your cash rent on your land?
Yes, we have standing appointments every year with Dell at Citizens, who manages our farm account, and we always go and speak to him about before our contract is up, so we can make sure we are always getting the best.
I think you could increase your income and you'd be less cash strapped.
Well, yes, we know that that's on our agenda, but even if we were able to do that, it wouldn't tie us over, or it wouldn't meet the unbalanced nature of our increasing costs and everything.
I don't have any other questions. Okay. I guess being you're there, we'll just go ahead and I'll make an appointment to go ahead and make a reappointment of Michaela
Yes.
C. Morgan for another term on the library from 22 to 2026. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Motion been made and seconded. A comment? No comment, we'll vote.
All in favor? All in favor? Aye. All opposed?
Motion carried. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, we'll go back to you, Larry.
Mr. Mayor, there's one more thing that I have. I placed at your desk today a revised copy of the 2023 annual budget calendar, and I highlighted several things at the bottom of the calendar relating to public hearing. One of the next things we have to do in this budget process is set a date for a public hearing, advertise it, and then actually go through the process of having a hearing and adopting the budget. Based on what I've looked at today, I'm going to suggest that we set a public hearing for July 11 at 5:35, 5:40, whatever. That will allow us to have public review of the budget process that we have so far. And then the remaining items on the left-hand side of the calendar gets us to July 25th for adoption. We don't actually have to approve on July 25th. The state actually gives us another month to do that. But since when I arrived, the mayor says, let's get her done. So that's what I'm working on. So I'd like it, if you're okay with it, to set a public hearing for July 11.
I'm fine with it. You.
Just keeps the pressure up. That's all.
I've been working on you quite a while.
Yeah. I'm hiding the bruises.
We need a motion for that, or?
I do, yes.
Okay, I'll make a motion to set the public hearing for next year's budget for July 11 at our regular meeting.
That'll work.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Motion been made and seconded. No comments? No comments, we'll vote.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
Motion carried. Motion carried. Anything else, Larry?
Nope.
I have nothing, Dave,
I don't think I have anything.
Brian,
Yeah, I do. So I've been working with the Davidsons on their house. I've got I've had several phone calls from concerned residents about us tearing down their house. I have about 50 people that are willing to help clean up the property and other properties in town. Our first cleanup is going to be next Saturday. And I do believe if anybody's drove by Davidson's, they are making a difference. They are cleaning up the yard. I've been told that they have shingles ordered. I've asked for a list of things that need to be corrected for the house. Several people, youth groups, whatnot, they're willing to come out and help and help this family out. So I would like to ask everybody to just reconsider, and I'd like to make a motion to give the community 90 days on the Davidson house to make a difference and help these people clean their house up. So I'd like to just make that motion to give the Davidsons 90 more days and let the community help this family out.
Is there a second? Second.
I'll second it. Second it.
Motion been made and seconded. Any other comments? The comments? No other comments, we'll vote.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? All opposed.
Motion carried, you got 90 days. You got 90 days, Brian.
Thank you very much.
50 people over there showing up.
Yeah, well, even 10 a weekend, we can do a lot. So
Right, well, I want to see.
thanks again.
You got anything else?
I'll be there Saturday morning, and anybody else that wants to help out, feel free to contact me. We're gonna be looking at only maybe doing 4 hours or so in the morning. And the Davidsons are more than cooperative, and there's one other house that we're gonna attack as well if enough people show up. So thank you very much.
What time you planning on starting?
8 o'clock.
Okay.
And I've got dump trailers and a metal trailer showing up. So we should, there's no age limit. I think kids could help out. Just it's for a good cause, and I think we're going to be able to make this happen.
All right. Thanks, Brian. Evans,
I don't have anything this evening.
Becky,
Nothing for me. Make a motion, we adjourn.
there's a second.
I'll second it.
Motion been made and seconded. Roll call.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
Motion carried. We're adjourned. We're going into budget work session.